It is time for Cardinals baseball, our final spring telecast on Valley Sports Midwest. It's a hot one here at Roger Dean Stadium. It's the Redbirds and the Miami Marlins with opening day less than a week away. Hi again, everybody. Jim Edmonds, Chip Carey, partner. The $64 million question is, what's the 26-man roster going to look like? Cardinals won't announce that until tomorrow. Players will be notified after game one of their day-night doubleheader, if you will. And with that in mind, there's a big bullpen battle still ongoing.
Yeah, you know what? It is a hot one today. I'm starting to sweat. I got a nice chest right here.
You're ready.
It's the last day at home here in Jupiter, but you're right. The big money question is who is going to be out of the bullpen. There's still some answers in the outfield, I think, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, Genesis Cabrera is going to be the first man out of the chute for Ali Marmol, who's looking for some, if not consistency, some answers from the left side.
Well, look at these numbers. I mean, what are you going to do when you're Ollie? And I talked to him this morning and I said, what are you going to do? It usually takes care of itself. And he goes, usually does, but it's not this year. So big things to address by the end of the next 2 days.
Too many good players and not enough roster spots is always a good problem to have, and that's the problem the Cardinals will try to have answered after game one of their day-night double dip here in South Florida. The Cardinals and Marlins tip it off from Roger Dean Stadium next. Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. By your Quality Ford dealers, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. And by Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life, we're your shield. We're your shelter. Fans might be looking for shelter before this game's done, Jim Edmonds. It is hot here in Jupiter, Florida. Puffy clouds overhead. Summer has arrived.
You know what's really interesting? It was really hot when we were down there.
Yeah.
But now the clouds are out. So, you know, they were just going after us today.
Well, the sun was shining on you. I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it was like hot, but it is a beautiful day for baseball. And it's going to be an interesting day, I think, after these two games are over with a little bit of the roster shuffles, as we talked about earlier, and some left-handed pitching to maybe decide where they're going to go. And there's a few outfielders and a very, very young prospect that would be interesting to see where he ends up too. So it'll be a fun day for Cardinal baseball.
Yeah, that's what Ali Marmol said. There you see John Mozeliak in the front row by the manager's chair. Ali said that the Cardinals will, if they see what they need to see in game one, notify the players who have made the team after this game. They'll head to Port St. Lucie for a nightcap, have meetings afterward, and then they'll announce the 26-man
You see Mo
roster.
smiling there. He's not going to be smiling later when he has to start writing out some notes.
Right?
And, yeah, it's all fun and games right there, Mo, until cutting time.
No question.
They used to put the little pink thing in your locker. They don't do that anymore.
Don't hang the tag anymore?
Call you in and like, we're sorry, son, you got to go.
Oh, that's no fun. Well, hopefully there'll be some happy faces after the game today. There certainly was one in Cardinals camp yesterday with Adam Wainwright going to the injured list. Miles Michaelis was named the opening day starter for the Cardinals. And oh, by the way, the Cardinals, Jim, extended his contract by 2 more years.
That is a double plus for him. Miles has been a workhorse when he's been healthy, and you can see what he has done in his career. And you know, you need guys like that to eat up innings and be professional out there on the mound. You have a guy like Wainwright. I almost like this is like the spitting image of Adam Wainwright. This guy is going to go take the ball and he's going to be out there for 6 innings no matter what. Congratulations, Miles, and well job done. Great job done. Well job done. You like that English?
I think I'll tell you what, we'll
That's
use
good
that.
Stuff right there.
We can keep that. As Genesis Cabrera is going to start this game, Jim, as you said, there is a battle in the bullpen for a left-handed relief spot. Genesis Cabrera is in the hunt for that, so I think it's safe to say this is a very important inning for him today.
Yeah, I think we talked about this the other day too. You know, don't let these guys wait around. If you're trying to make decisions, you want to see some of these guys face the top part of the lineup early on when the guys are ready to go and see what they got. And you can see his pitch arsenal, and we all know what he's got. I mean, he's got an electric fastball, good breaking ball, a little bit of a slider here and there, not too many changeups, but great arm. If he's under control and he can throw strikes, he has lights out.
Well, he's done that this spring. 6 strikeouts, no walks for Cabrera so far. And this is the Marlins lineup he will face. Luis Arraez leads off. Brian De La Cruz, Jorge Soler, Garrett Cooper, the DH. Garcia, Segura, Yuli Gurriel, Nick Fortes catches today, and Joey Wendell will play short and hit ninth for Skip Schumacher's Miami Marlins, who are 7-15-2 so far this spring. So lefty-lefty matchup for Cabrera. Arise leads off a 269 spring for him. First pitch strike gets our day started.
I'll tell you what, if Cabrera can throw strikes like he's been throwing, I mean, he's going to be a massive weapon for this team. And I think that would be the only knock that he would ever have, would be when he struggles to throw strikes.
Almost picked off Arise there with a fastball inside, even count. No ball and a strike. Fourth appearance for Cabrera. 7 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts is his spring line. Good pitch there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's almost like a little cutter, like even soft sliders, only 89. But that's the other thing too. You know, as these guys get a little bit more into their career, they develop more pitches. They know they just can't rear back and throw, and that's going to be a plus if he can add something to his pitch arsenal and use it. Not just have it, but use it.
And he knows what's at stake in this performance, I would assume, and that's something else that Ali has talked about all spring. It's not just the performance, but the handling of the pressure of the moment, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's out there. I mean, you know, everyone knows what's at stake right now, especially today, and even a guy who's been in the big leagues is going to feel a little bit. So you see how they're going to react. The guy standing there at shortstop, you can see him in the foreground every now and then. 19, not so much. He's not really as worried as some of those guys on the mound.
No swing and a full count. Interesting too that Mo's sitting in the front row. He too is evaluating these guys, not just on tape or in meetings. He's seeing them live. I
mean, he is sitting right behind Ollie Marmol. I mean, there's going to be some talk during the course of this day.
That's hit in the air toward right. Jordan Walker has plenty of room. Cabrera gets his man. And there's out number 1 here at the top of the first. A look at the Cardinals defensive lineup. Nolan Gorman gets the start at third today. Around the horn, Edman, Donovan, Goldschmidt, Contreras in harness. Left to right in the outfield, Nootbaar, O'Neill, and as we just said, Jordan Walker, who too has not been told he's on or off the team yet.
The longer you can be here, the better. And I love the fact that they can leave some of these guys in the lineup.
That got Cabrera on the way by, and that'll be an infield hit.
Leave some guys in the lineup, let them keep playing, and then you can use your DH spot with Nolan Arenado today, and so he gets some at bats, and you get to see a couple younger guys maybe stretch it out for one more day.
And this is what every manager, every player, every general manager fears the last days of spring training. Don't want a guy to get hurt. Let's see where it got him. Breaking ball. And off the back of the leg. From the looks of that shot, Cabrera is okay.
Just a little bruise in the thigh.
Jorge Soler, the batter. Soler's homered. He's knocked in 2 this spring. The Marlins are counting on big things from him this year. So wails away and fouls it back. Strike 1. Disappointing year for Soler, his first as a Marlin. Coming off his great work with Atlanta, helped them win the World Series 2 seasons ago. When this guy is right, he's capable of carrying an offense.
I mean, this is one of those guys that steps to the plate and you're thinking, I better back up in the outfield. He could get a hold of any pitch at any time.
Soler did not swing. 2 balls and a strike. Let's see how Cabrera comes back after that batted ball hit him in the leg. Brian De La Cruz, the man at first. Knuckled out of play, foul.
Knuckled. That's on the hands right there.
So it's 2-2.
That's the thing right there for Cabrera, right? His pitch location has been a little bit more on point instead of just overthrowing all the time, and I think that's really helped him this spring.
Look at that pitch over the outside corner, and Soler frozen. 2 outs. I've always said, hey, look, I'm sure it's great to throw 100, but if you can't throw it for strikes, what good is it?
Yeah, and you know what's funny is usually when he has the really good fastball, he almost adds to it, which causes him trouble. You know, when he's not at 99, he's at 95, 96, he throws strikes, but when he's 99, he's trying to hit 100, and that's when you see him start to lose control a little bit.
Garrett Cooper is the Marlins DH today. Cooper's had a nice spring, hitting over 300, 8 RBIs. He's hit a home run. Runner goes, got a good jump. The Contreras throw is going to be high. And De La Cruz with a stolen base. And he'll stand there with 2 outs.
Yeah, really no chance for Contreras right there. He just took off first move, and he was halfway to second base before the ball across the plate.
So Miami has the first RBI chance. Avisail Garcia waits 20 feet from the on-deck circle.
I was just going to say, is he going to hit?
I don't think I've ever seen a batter stand that close, right?
Tell me his mannerisms are not Miguel Cabrera to a T. I mean, but if he's almost getting his cleats dirty.
Little roller hit toward third, and the toss across is in plenty of time. And it's just Cabrera strikes out a man in a scoreless first. Here come the Cardinals in Jupiter. Saturday of spring training. I tell you what, 1 through 9, Jim, that's got some very exciting possibilities for Ollie Marmol, starting with Brendan Donovan. And Edward Cabrera with a big arm gets ahead with a first pitch strike.
Well, it's interesting because you've been in the National League forever too, and all of a sudden that DH really gives you so many different options for a team like this, right? Like you got the best third baseman on the planet is your DH today, so a guy like Donovan can play. You know, you get Walker's still out there, and Gorman gets to play third base. Going to move him around. So I just think it's awesome to be able to watch that, especially during spring training, just to get more at bats for guys. And actually, not even the at bats, but just see how they handle the defensive side. If they move around a little bit, you know, like get a guy at third that normally plays second. I don't know. It's so different to watch. We're so used to seeing the pitcher hit after all these years.
Well, you mentioned opportunities. Brendan's made the most of his this spring. Another terrific run, hitting 300. He's played everywhere. And Cabrera with that big arm has his first strikeout. Climbed the ladder on Donovan for out number 1. This is going to be the strength of the Marlins team with Sandy Alcantara, Luzardo, Cabrera, Trevor Rogers, Johnny Cueto. They're going to pitch. Can they hit and catch it enough is the question.
Well, we know they're not going to catch early. I mean, they're going to throw the ball around, but as long as they don't throw away runs, you know, you can make an error here and that's fine, young team. But if you don't throw the ball away like we saw the other day with guys on base, running around, scoring, you can keep that to a minimum. Pitching staff is going to carry this team.
Ball got loose from the Cardinals bullpen.
Speaking of which.
On a bullpen day. Cabrera last year 6-4, 14 starts. When he got to 2 strikes and when he got men in scoring position, he got even better. As that's fouled at the plate by Lars Nootbaar.
See the little slow delivery and the fast arm, and usually that adds up to not throwing strikes, but he's got that down to a science, and he can throw some hitters off, especially when the velocity is in the mid to upper 90s.
This kid's just 24 years old, a big, tall, 6'5" right-hander. And that one's scorched into center by Lars Nootbaar. So a 2-strike hit for Lars, who saw his Instagram followers go, Jim, from 90,000 to almost 1 million thanks to the WBC. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that, but I actually spoke with him today, and I said, you know, some people say like, hey, how was it? I know how it was. I said, hey, congratulations. I'm sure you had a blast. And he goes, you have no idea. And that's all. I mean, what else can you say?
Life-changing.
Yeah, it just
2 weeks.
Experience of a lifetime, he said, and you know, it just. I mean, can't put it into words. That's why it's like I didn't even want to ask how it was. I knew how great it was. I said, you know, congratulations. That had to be a blast. And he was like, yes, more than you can say.
Similar comments from Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado for Team USA. And Goldie's up for the first time today. I love what Miles Michaelis said. It would take some chutzpah, shall we say, if Lars Nootbaar brought his championship gold medal into the locker room with Team Japan with all the Team USA guys on the team.
That's true. Well, shoot, we had, what, 17 guys?
17.
Somebody had to win.
Right?
Somebody's going to be walking around with it.
It's pulled foul by the reigning MVP in the National League. You know, he's looking forward to opening day at Busch Stadium. And the Toronto Blue Jays on the 30th.
The old Toronto Blue Jay rivalry. Nothing better.
Doesn't get any better than that, does it, right?
Those guys are going to be here for opening day. Say, what in the heck is going on here?
Look at that breaking ball. Goldie down on strikes. 2 away in the Cardinals' first. So look at the Marlins. It's an interesting defensive alignment for Skip Schumacher. Guys at first glance playing unfamiliar positions. Versus the outfield, Garcia, De La Cruz, Soler. Jazz Chisholm will be their opening day center fielder. He's not in the lineup today. Yuli Gurriel was signed late in camp. His opt-out day is today for Miami.
That's interesting, too, because, you know, we talked about that like a week ago, and I thought, well, you got to give a guy a couple days, you know, even though it's still, what, 5 or 6 days to opening day, but it seems late in spring training, especially for a veteran.
Nolan Arenado, a couple of homers, 4 RBIs. He's ready to go. A big breaker. This guy's got a
breaker, yeah.
Good off-speed pitch.
Well, 96. He finished a guy up high with a 96, and then you get Goldie, and he finished him with a tight slider, and then you're up there thinking, okay, fastball, slider, and then throws a breaking ball at your head, and you're like, wait a second. How many more pitches does he have?
Nice stop by Fortes behind the plate. 2 balls and a strike. As we said, the Cardinals open with Toronto. The Marlins will open their season with the Mets. How about Alcantara and Scherzer for opening day?
It's going to be a quick one.
Yeah.
Get there early. You get stuck in traffic, you might miss 5 innings.
Right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What makes Cabrera such an intriguing prospect is how well he pitched on the road. And he's doing that today. Yes, the Marlins are the visiting team, and he just struck out the side in the home first. After one, Jim, what's your Toyota key to the game today?
I would say if I was a player in this game, I want to finish strong for that man right there, the manager, Ollie Marmol, and for him, hopefully, Mozeliak is not looking over his shoulder anymore right now, but we know he's lurking around. But I just think finish strong, have a good outing today, especially on the fringe. Give everyone something to talk about by the end of the day. See if you're a part of this roster.
What are these last 72 hours like? As you see, Jojo Romero, who's trying to make a bid to make this club. What are those 72 hours like?
I really don't know, because I never had to deal with it.
No.
I just was.
You were just on the team.
I got lucky one time and never went back, and just was getting ready to go to the opening day every year. But, you know, there's some guys you can see it's uneasy, and I think a few of the guys kind of know. I don't think there's going to be a lot of surprises. There might be one, you know. But, yeah, I just think it's interesting. I think that pretty much everyone's, I think, and by the way, Ollie does a great job of communicating. I mean,
right.
You know that already by just going down there and listening to him talk. He's not going to beat around the bush. He's not going to give you stories, me stories. He's going to tell everyone what's going on. And I'm pretty sure with the players, the same situation. And I really doubt that he would allow some surprises down there, because I think that sometimes that hinders the team, you know.
I was going to ask you that, because you guys probably know who the best 26 are.
Well, when you let, you know, it's like trading a guy that is like one of your core players. it affects the whole team. And same thing if you lose a guy in spring training for, you know, maybe, let's say, due to free agency, a trade, or running out of options, time, like you said, with the opt-out stuff. That can really take a toll on a group of guys that get really close together, you know, as brothers. And then you lose a guy and you're like, oh, why him? You know, like, and then it kind of, it's a little spiral effect. So hopefully you don't have any of those decisions to worry about today.
Well, Romero has just a couple of outings for the Cardinals this spring. March 2nd, March 4th. Today's March 25th.
I don't think that's, you know, I mean, his name wasn't in the big three mixture when we talked earlier this week. So, you know, maybe just another look-see here. And also it's, you know, need somebody to eat up innings. And maybe it's even a guy like, hey, let's see what he's got one more time in case we have to send him down and bring him back. I think that's still, it's got to be on everyone's mind, knowing that you pretty much use almost all 40 guys by the end of the year. And probably some more.
No question.
There's teams that have been through 40 and then some last couple years. So
Genesis Cabrera gave up a hit in his inning. Romero struck out the first batter he faced. Now he's got Gene Segura.
It's funny too. When I was downstairs today and I texted you up in the booth, and right as I was telling you, hey, don't worry, I'm downstairs talking to some of the players, Ollie walked in and I said, how you doing? He goes, I'll let you know later. And I said, yeah, normally these things work themselves out. He goes, almost always, except for now. And so he kind of felt a little of the pressure of how you're going to handle the rest of the couple days down here. So I thought it was kind of interesting because you never hear answers like that from him.
Tommy Edman with a short hop throw at first, and Gene Segura is going to reach on an error.
You don't see this very often at all. He just threw a sinker right there. Look at that ball cut and then bounce. Two things you don't see. That ball come out of his hand like a sinker, and because it hit a footprint, you don't see Goldie miss balls like that very often. That ball almost hit him in the mouth.
So a two-base error brings up Yuli Gurriel. This guy has had a terrific run as a major league player. He's no kid, but for Marlins team that's looking for leadership, looking for some pop, they're maybe trying to find some lightning in the bottle with Gurriel.
You know, the other thing too is I went down there on the field. Actually, we were down there on the field the other day when it was warming up. It was wet early on. I almost think sometimes those guys get a ground ball. You can catch that. You know, you see the marks on the ball.
Yep.
And the dirt marks. Well, I think right now too, you get a little of that dirt mark still wet.
Still
like early in the game, yeah. And you might get your fingers on that wet spot. And the ball came out of Tommy's hand like something I've never seen him throw. Take a look at this throw right here. Watch the seams on this ball. You can literally see the two seams right here. Like it just slipped out of his hand. Look at it just go down. And then look at the hop right there for Goldie. You don't see either one of those happen very often.
Yeah, check your lips special.
Yeah, what? You see, just kind of like,
I want no part of that.
No, I saw the hop him out.
I want no part.
Spring, stay healthy. It's one more day. It's okay if it goes to the backstop.
Little number back to the mound, and Romero's got that. The runner will take third with 2 outs.
You know, it's like in spring training, there was a couple balls over my career that I came back to the dugout and said, man, I'd have caught that ball if it wasn't spring training. I'm not going head first into the fence today.
So Nick Fortes a nice catcher. He and Jacob Stallings will share those duties for the Fish this year. Stallings a Gold Glover. Fortes not too shabby himself. What a privilege it must be for their catching corps to catch guys like Sandy Alcantara every 5th day.
I think it's interesting with that too is do you end up getting your personal catcher, you know, and that tends to be tough too after a month or two. They're not always healthy as a catcher, and you don't want to get locked into that situation. But if that works, that's a great way for 2 guys to be able to go out there and play.
Is it not Andrew Kisner, Miles Michaelis?
He was. And you know what?
Catcher?
That kind of happens because of, like, let's say, how do you give Yadier Molina days off? Where do you find them, right? And so, yeah, Andrew's got to work well with someone. And I was just going to say, I think it'll be interesting to see this year how Contreras does as far as, well, he's a great athlete. Is he going to get beat up as much as Yachty? Is he as tough as Yachty? I mean, he looks like a stud. But how many guys can do what Yadier Molina did and take pounding after pounding after pounding and then just go right back out there?
And play 140 games.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Especially behind the plate. Cortez drives this one in the air toward left center. And that'll be handled easily by Lars Nootbaar. And the Cardinals pitch around the two-base error. No score. Jordan Walker is coming up. Winner of every team's opening day game and compete to win the ultimate baseball game day experience with MLB opening day pick'em presented by Chevrolet. Restrictions apply. See rules and enter at MLB.com/pick'em. Wilson Contreras leads off for the Redbirds in the second. O'Neill and Walker to follow. And that's taken low. Ball one.
Low. It's taken down the middle for ball one.
Sounded like a ball. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
My ex-partner used to say that was a strike called the ball.
It's spring training for those guys too. Jim. Come on, they got to get it right on.
We're in there too. I've already butchered the English language today too. I'm with you.
As long as they're perfect and get better starting Thursday, we're going to be all right. It's Jeremy Riggs behind the plate today. Ramon De Jesus, Ron Culpa, and Carlos Torres are on the base paths.
The same 4 guys for the last 12 days in a row.
Yeah.
It's good though. Spring training. Don't have to travel. There's the same ballpark every day. 2 teams. Somebody's playing here every day.
Kind of like these Marlins teal uniforms, don't you? Alternate colors.
Yeah.
Cardinal red. Very
Something
colorful
different.
day.
Yes, it is.
For the Fighting Fish, full count, nobody on or out. In the St. Louis second, there's Skip Schumacher. And broken bat roller out toward Wendell at short. And his flipping with plenty of time. There's out number 1. Marlins coaches are celebrating Johnny Cash Day. They're all dressed in black on this day, sitting in the heat of the sun.
The team's wearing teal and they're wearing black. It's the one thing that happens when that's, you got to pick a color, right, to wear as your pullovers, and maybe teal wouldn't be the best to have everyone walking around every stadium in America, so they go with black. Johnny Cash.
Tyler O'Neill, the hitter. And there's a bullet into left center field for a base hit. Ali was talking about Tyler O'Neill specifically before the game and was raving about his mindset, his physique, the swing changes, the whole package. He said he is convinced, he is sold that this guy's going to have a gigantic year.
Yeah, I think from spending some time with him this winter that he just really has, in the last few years, has really just changed his thought process at the plate. And I think that's something that comes with age, but to turn it around so quickly, I think he's done a nice job with it.
And he's going
boy.
out. Bang, bang play at second. O'Neill was in the middle of his pop-up slide when that tag was called, and they ring him up.
All right, we got a doubleheader today. Let's keep it moving.
Nice throw by Fortes. No replay
nice
in spring training.
You got a good jump, great throw. I think it's just a little bit late, but you never know. Yeah.
What did I say earlier? It's spring training.
Spring training for everyone.
Well, Jordan Walker is the talk of Cardinal camp, along with Mason Wynn, as we look at that bang bang play. Yeah, I'm not sure the second base ump had the best look at that, but again, as we said, all they have to do is be ready on Thursday. Standouts this spring, well, here they are for the Cardinals. Walker and Wynn, the youngsters. Jake Woodford will be in rotation. Steven Matz looks healthy and ready to go. And so, Jim, what does Jordan Walker have to do in these final at-bats of spring training to make this team?
You know what? I'm curious to see what's going to happen with him, because just talking with Ollie and just watching, he's one of those guys, and what we've seen in the last couple of days, I feel like it's getting a little bit exposed with the pitchers being a little bit sharper at this point of spring. But I'm not here every day at 9 in the morning, 8 in the morning, and we don't know what he's going through.
Right.
Wouldn't shock me that he makes his team. but also wouldn't shock me if they say, you know what, I'd like to see him go back to AAA and just get some at-bats against some more veteran pitchers for stuff like this, because we've seen the young guys come up and we've seen the pitching backwards giving them the most trouble, and that's what's going to happen.
Cardinals out of luck in the second. We're still scoreless. Third pitcher in as many innings for the Cardinals, Giovanni Gallegos. Jim, he too is off to the WBC, and today makes his 4th appearance of the spring. His last one came on the 23rd against the Yankees. Struck out a man in his clean inning.
Clean inning is important, especially now. And, you know, I think, all kidding aside, with the pitch clock, I think this one is maybe the guy who's going to be affected the most by the pitch clock, because he took his time coming out of the bullpen. Things are going to change. You can see he's a little bit more deliberate than most guys, and so curious to see how he does moving forward if they really start to push, especially what Waino said about, or what Jack said about when guys get on base, especially here, you know, in the later innings. You know, we're not talking about the 1st and 2nd. I'm talking about the 8th and 9th now, really under pressure.
And in the heat of the summer, when a man comes striding in out of the bullpen, right?
Well, we got some new information today, and it didn't seem like they adjusted a whole lot on the time frame. So I still think to be determined as far as how that's going to affect players and exactly the timing of in between innings versus just a regular like starter going out there every day.
And your example was a catcher makes the last out, has to come back, put the gear on, or
especially if he runs down the line hard and you're on the 3rd base side, right. You're stretching it into a double, you slide head first, you're already in the 7th inning, you're beat up, center fielder goes in the gap, you run all the way back to the dugout. Yeah, I think it's still going to be, there's going to be some issues, and hopefully they just have some common sense with the umpires.
Joey Wendell rolls one foul at first. One thing I'm really excited about seeing is how metrics are going to affect the bat boys and bat girls now. Because now Major League Baseball has told the teams that their bat boys and bat girls have to get the equipment back quickly, and if they can't, they'll risk termination.
Termination by MLB.
Yes.
Not the team.
Nope.
By the league.
That's it. So
what are we going to do in San Francisco with the ball dudes?
That's a great question.
A couple times they're going to have to go down there and pick those guys up, and they fall over the mound in the old days.
We'll have to have a ball dude cart.
Some of those older fellas down there.
But how about that as Joey Wendell leads off and chases a ball in the dirt?
I think that's interesting too, because you know the days of having some random kid out there are gone.
Right.
These kids that are working when season starts are, I'm going to go ahead and call them professionals, because they're around the stadium every day. It's the same guy every night. You know, these kids have been around, and so they know what they're doing, and just to speed it up, it wouldn't be that big of a deal for them. But down here, I could see there could have been an issue.
Again, I'm not familiar with all the Cardinals clubhouse staff in St. Louis, but I can imagine the boot camp that those guys and gals are going through right now, getting ready for opening day.
Well, they are the best. The clubhouse, the staff, the management, the whole organization is first class, and it goes all the way down to the guys in the clubhouse, and they're as good as it gets.
Goldie can't dig that one out, and look at Contreras hustle down the line to back up the play.
I'm telling you, something's going on out there in that little Bermuda Triangle at second and short today. You don't see those guys make mistakes like that.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned how the ball might be wet. Just looking at the field and looking around the cut of the infield grass, you can see how light the dirt is.
Yeah,
it's a very humid. It's a humid day today.
Well, and I think you know, when it gets hot. So, for example, when we were standing out there at 12:15, they watered the field, say, what, 12:30, 12:45, and it was hot.
Yeah.
And then, what, 1 o'clock, clouds come over. So now they're like, uh-oh, it's not as hot now, is it? And it's actually cooled down a little bit. So it could be wetter than normal. You look at the pitcher's mound versus, say, second base, it's a totally different color of dirt. Not that it's the same dirt, but you can see how it's dried out a lot more than the infield has. And you're right, around the bases of the cutouts of the grass, you can really see it.
Luis Arraez, the batter, he flied out to start the game. AL batting champ. Won the batting title last year with the Minnesota Twins. The lowest batting title win since 1968.
Come on. I did not know that.
316. Carl Yastrzemski won the AL batting title with a .301 batting average.
Wow.
Jim, he was the only American player to qualify and hit over 300 that year. That was the year Bob Gibson had the 1-1-2 with the Cardinals, and they lowered the mound to help the hitters out the next year.
I don't think they could have flattened the mound when Bob Gibson was pitching. Wouldn't have made a difference.
You know, as a kid, watching him pitch was such an amazing treat. First the pitch, runner goes, good jump. Throw to the third base side of the bag, and a steal for Joey Wendell. Didn't realize this. Did you know that Bob Gibson had more complete games than wins?
Yes, only because I've done this game long enough now here with the St. Louis Cardinals, and I've heard that a few times. I wouldn't have known that.
I did not know that. 255 complete games, 251 wins.
Amazing.
1-2 pitch.
You know what I think is interesting thing that just happened right now too, like a little teaching point for kids. You see Tommy Edman catch that ball when the runner's trying to steal second. Contreras kind of pulled it, short hopped it. You saw Tommy just catch it, right? Let's talk about the little things that you do. You don't try to catch that ball on swipe tag and drop it and all that. Just catch the ball, give the out away. You know, it's not gonna. He's not close. He's not out.
There's a shot to right. Walker comes up cleanly.
And it saves you a run right here.
And they'll hold the runner. Men are at first and third for Miami with nobody out.
You know, he tries to pick that ball and swipe tag, and the ball bounces off his glove. Runner goes to third. Big mistake. Just catches it and does his job without making any kind of hasty move. And I just think it's a great teaching point for kids that just like sometimes you just have to catch the ball. Come off the bag at first, catch the ball. Come off the bag at second. Don't try to stay on the bag and miss the throw.
Give them what they earned. He earned the steal. Give him.
Yep. Bad throw from the catcher. There's no reason to do anything extra. Just catch the ball and move on.
Here's De La Cruz, an infield hit for him, and that ball popped out of play foul. Ryan De La Cruz trying to make the Marlins club with a late flourish. He bounced the ball off Genesis Cabrera's leg to start the first inning. Cabrera went an inning, struck out a man, and this is a bullpen game. Inning by inning will go in game one of a day-night doubleheader for the Cardinals, who will make their way to Port St. Lucie for a night game tonight. That's good timing. Last week you got a day-nighter for the staff when you're trying to get your roster set.
Do some work done on the bus today.
And some sleep on the ride home.
A little computer work on the bus and some notifications.
That bounces away. Play at the plate. No, won't be made. A wild pitch brings home Joey Wendell. Arise moves to second, and the Marlins take a 1-0 lead.
See another one right there. I think that's a great play by Contreras. He doesn't not throw the ball away right there. He doesn't get carried away. He has a tough block right here. It shoots off of his arm, and he could easily just throw this ball just because, but what do? You risk throwing the ball into the dugout, getting your pitcher hurt, and you just eat it. It's no chance to get an out, so just eat it.
1-2 for De La Cruz.
You talked about the other day. You make a mistake, don't make two on the same play.
Right. Give them what they earn. And for Giovanni, he needs an out here. His pitch count up to 17. And he's got a runner at second and nobody out. On the ground toward short, diving stop, and a looping throw to first, and Goldie got the leg back down. We've seen a lot of humpback throws from Tommy Edman over to first this spring, and Goldschmidt able to get the foot down in time for the first out.
You know what's funny is somebody came into the booth after Tommy's last throw and said, "Is his arm okay?" And I said, "I don't know why it wouldn't be, but those last 2 throws right there, he doesn't look like the same guy that we've seen over the years. So interesting to see how he's feeling. That is not the strong arm throw that we are used to seeing from shortstop.
So here's Soler, runner at third for Miami. And a swing and a miss. Just like that. It's 0-2. Cooper will follow Soler here. Gallegos ahead of him, a ball and 2 strikes. And as you said, Jim, this is where the men will be separated from the boys in the late innings. When there's traffic on the base paths, how do you slow the game down when the clock won't let you?
Well, it's hard enough to slow the game down without the pitching clock.
Right.
Now you look over your shoulder at second base and there's a clock bouncing in your eyes.
Another ball in the dirt. Runner to third. And a full count for Soler.
Gio's not making it easy on Contreras today. He's done some kind of in-between hops to him.
The second wild pitch of the inning. With the pitch count approaching 25, the Cardinals bullpen is working again here in the third inning. Infield comes in. It's Chris Stratton getting warm in a hurry. The pitch. And a swing and a miss. Soler is down on strikes for the second time. Big second out, 2 away.
Just a big hole right here on that outer half. You can see. And guys like Soler, when, you know, I think when he had that really good year in Chicago, right? Stayed up the middle, smaller ballpark, and hit line drives into the gaps, and then they go in the seats. Start playing in bigger ballparks, and you can see the shoulders just kind of spin off, trying to pull the ball for power instead of just staying on the ball. And pitches like that just disappear as your just head's moving and your body's going towards third, and that wasn't even a really good slider. It was just enough like a cutter to just get away from him.
Cooper bounced out to Nolan Gorman his first time up. Long inning defensively for the Birds. The pitch is upstairs. Ball 1. Well, this mess not fully Gallegos is making. First runs he's given up in Cardinals camp since February 28th. Again, he was off to the WBC. He trails by a run. Nice stop. Strike 2. Since Gallegos became a Cardinal, he leads all Cardinals pitchers in ERA, opponents average, strikeouts per 9, and whip.
Don't get me started with whip.
You don't like whip?
I'm kidding.
What's wrong? Orange whip, orange whip, orange, 3 orange whips. But that's an important stat for relievers. I think the most important stat for a reliever is first batter faced.
Getting outs.
Getting outs, especially the first one in a close game. And
tell you what, you could be the starter's best friend if you get the guys that inherited runs. You can stop those from coming across. You have some best friends out there.
To center. And Gallegos will allow just 1. Pretty good job. That ball was knuckling towards center. O'Neill stayed with it. And the Cardinals down early, 1-0. Friend beside you, a limited number of tickets are on sale at cardinals.com/pooches.
Every time I see that promo, it makes me think of Tony La Russa.
Right?
His thing, like, if he wasn't talking about the baseball game, he was talking about the dogs. That was it. His bread and butter of just his love of animals and baseball. You know, I told him one time, you know how he is, right? How intense he is. So he retired and he came to a dinner one time, and for the first time I ever seen him with no iPad, no nothing. He started having fun at dinner, and I said, man, you got a personality now that you're not a manager anymore.
Well, you know Tony's famous line, right? You see him as a visiting pro. How you doing? I'll let you know
at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
I said, wow, you developed a personality since you quit. Super great guy, man. I learned so much from him. It's just, you know, when a manager makes a mark on you that you use in your daily life, you know he's done a nice job.
I was going to ask you that.
Daily life stuff, I still think about what he says.
I guess you can't be friends with your manager because he's going to do things that you're not going to agree with, either personally or professionally. But in a way,
it's both.
It sounds like he's like a second father.
It was like a dad,
right?
Yeah. Well, he just taught me so much. I grew so much just in the little stuff, you know, like stuff that kind of maybe I just didn't understand when I was 25 and 26. And then, you know, when I was in the prime of my career, say 28, I was hurt. So I missed the whole year pretty much that year. And then I got here at 29, and it was just sit there on the bench and say, man, I never even thought about it that way, or didn't look at it that way, or I'd go in there and ask him after the game, why'd you do this? And then I would say, his other line that I love was, say, why this? And he's like, well, you know, he's trying to explain it. He thought I was messing with him. And then I'd say, oh, interesting. I never thought about that. And he goes, well, that's why you have a locker and I have the office.
That sounds like him.
Well, and I would say, well, at my salary, I'm glad I have the locker and you have the office.
Good point.
So some good
There's
stuff.
a drive hit to right field off the bat of Nolan Gorman. Track, wall, and caught. Just missed it.
There's that wind. It's always blowing.
Barrel that baby up, but Soler tracks it down.
I'll tell you what, as a left-handed hitter in this ballpark, when you hit a ball in the air, you just might as well peel off and go back to the dugout. And you know it, too.
Had the sound, but just shy of the right field fence. So there's out number one. Tommy Edman hitting ninth for the Cardinals. What's the greatest thing that Tony La Russa taught you?
You know, I was just thinking about you asking me something like that. And I was thinking about just away from the ballpark. And he said to me one time about, he thought, like, do I talk too much? Like, he would say, if you think I'm talking.
Meaning to the team?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said, I regretted a thing I didn't say one time. And so from now on, whenever I thought something needed to be mentioned, I just mentioned it, even if it was said again. So basically what he was saying is, don't take it for granted that somebody knows. So he said, instead of just saying, he said, I would just say it. You know, like if it was like, even if it was like, let's say Cubs series, right? Big series coming up. And back in the day when it was just kind of a rivalry. And he would say, the media is going to make this bigger than it is. I just want you guys to remember. And I said, I kind of was joking. I said, we know this, haha. And he told me that story. And he was like, I will always say it because one time I didn't, and it bit me in the butt. And I thought that's interesting. So I try to do that with my kids a little bit.
Sure.
And
Don't assume
I tried it with my wife a few times, and you know, it doesn't work as well. She gave me that look like, I know what you're talking about. Like, no, but I thought that was a very interesting point that he made.
Up and away for Tommy Edman. Full count for him with one out. 1-0 Marlins have the lead. They scored a run off Giovanni Gallegos a moment ago.
But I love the little nudges. You know, it was like we were losing 9-0, and he would be like, you got to be the first one out there. This is where you show everyone you're a leader. This is those kind of things. Like, this is when you run harder. This is when you do this.
And it had to be rewarding, too, that a guy like Tony would see that in you in particular, right? I mean,
and he would just, you know, little chirps like, hey, don't let him, don't let your teammates down. We're losing 7-1. Keep playing. Big at bat. You're the big at bat today. You know, like just that stuff. I thought it just kind of kept me going. Like, kept my head up when we were struggling. Kept me running hard when we were losing. Kept me pushing harder, even though you wanted to give up some days. You know, just take the loss and move on.
Just watching him manage from afar, nobody wanted to win a game more than he did.
It was almost annoying at times, but now you understand.
Sure.
After being there for 8 years.
Well, Brendan Donovan, your hitter, he struck out his first time. Cabrera's struck out 5 Cardinals in the first 2 2/3. This kid's got a great future.
He's got a great arm, velocity. He's got great off-speed stuff. You know, he took the job in Arizona that one year, and he came to dinner one night with an iPad, and I'm like, are you serious? You're not even managing anymore, and you're still watching every pitch.
Popped up to the left side. Segura and Wendell. It'll be Wendell at short. And the Cardinals are retired in order in a 1-0 game at Roger Dean Stadium. Teeing up will take home a lightweight hooded long sleeve pullover. Stay warm on chilly evenings at the ballpark all year long. Tickets are at cardinals.com/promotions. We've got the Toronto Blue Jays for the first home series. Then the Atlanta Braves come in for 3 before the Redbirds make their first road trip. 4th inning, Chris Stratton, 4th pitcher for the Cardinals, as he faces Avisail Garcia, who leads 1-0. Stratton's made 8 appearances. He's allowed 5 earned runs. And he has struck out 10 opposing hitters in those appearances so far this spring. On the ground to short. Let's see a strong throw here. That's more like it. And Garcia's retired for out number 1. Tommy got his feet under him that time and made a strike.
I was just saying, like, interesting to see those couple throws. It's like, I don't know if he just kind of, like you said, got your feet underneath him or what, but still looks a little short arm to me. Just looks different. Doesn't look, when you watch somebody play for 5 years and you see something different, you think, that looks different. That doesn't look the same.
Gene Segura, the hitter, he reached on Tommy's 2-base error. That came in the 2nd inning. Segura is a terrific hitter. And for a Marlins club that's not going to have a ton of power, lost a lot of 1-run games for lack of a big single. They think Segura and a rise will help change that in 2023. Gene came in hitting .379 this spring.
The Tommy Edman thing too is he grew up a shortstop. It's not like we saw him play second early on and then moved over, but it's where he's played his whole life, so you wouldn't think there would be any kind of throwing issues at all. That's where it catches you off guard.
And Segura was not set and ready to take a pitch. And a pitch clock. It is a shot clock. Sorry.
Violation.
I was watching the tournament last night. Wouldn't that be great? They should have that ready at the ballpark.
At least everyone would know it happened.
Right. So
I'll tell you what, though, man. Spring training, I get it. If that happens to me when I'm trying to win a game, I'm going to be hot.
yeah.
Taking money out of my pocket, taking wins away from my team. There's going to be some ejections this year because of that. I promise you. Talking about a half of a second to a second in discrepancy between what the umpire thinks and what the hitter thinks.
Gurriel with a base hit to right. I still like the idea of the buzzer. I think that would be awesome.
Not the one that, like as loud as the hockey game, but just like the little
it's got to be
basketball game.
It's got to be louder. Make it as annoying as possible. Yeah. So Gurriel with a hit, and Fortes is coming up. Miami with 4 hits. They've scored the game's lone run. They lead 1-0. You figured out how you're going to score those strikeouts on the clock violation?
I was thinking about that. K backwards.
Well,
the strikeout looking.
Well,
or do you put a little timer, a little clock with a K in it?
There you go. Scott Fransky, who does the games for the Phillies, I think had the best idea because the batter's not facing the pitcher. It's a strikeout not looking. Right.
There's a lot of interesting ways you can score this one at home, everybody.
Yeah. That'd be a good contest. Who can come up with the most creative way to describe that play? Fortes awaits and takes a low one away. 2 balls and a strike. Again, opening day on the 30th. At last report, there were still some scattered tickets available for the wonderful spectacle that is opening day at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The Cardinals and the Blue Jays. Tickets are as low as $44 for the home opener. All you have to do is log on to cardinals.com and join us on Thursday afternoon. No baseball on Friday. Saturday and Sunday are day games. Then Atlanta comes in. Stratton's throwing hard, mid-90s. And just missed.
It's hitting the spots, too.
So full count. Well, it won't take the pitchers long to work up a lather today. This is the hottest day of the spring. Runner goes. And the pitch popped up. Contreras will give chase. And at the edge of the warning track, he'll make the play. One catcher to another. Fortes pops out to Contreras. And Stratton a solid shutout fourth inning. What's on tap? Thursday is opening day.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is one heck of a day. I think it should be an official holiday in St. Louis because at least if you're a shop owner, at least you won't have to get so many calls that people are sick. You just give everyone the day off and just shut it all down.
Honesty's the best policy, right?
Just give everyone the day off and let's move on to the next day. What a day.
You get nervous sitting in the back of the convertible going around the warning track?
You know what? Not nervous, but it is a weird feeling. It's just a different thing, man. It's like, you know, I did my time. And I just always said, I remember talking to the DeWitts the day they announced that they were going to do this and that they were going to give me a red jacket. And I said, I just don't, and I've said this 1,000 times. With playing, watching Gibby and all these guys, I just don't feel like I deserve it. You know, because when I did the rounds, the guys standing behind home plate were Brock, Gibson, guys like Hall of Famers.
Red Shane-Dienst. Yeah.
Stan, I mean, just Ozzy. It just was like, yeah, those, I think they should have given us like light pink jackets or something, you know, like for the little guys.
The second tier.
Yeah. And see, now Scott Rowland, he can get a red jacket. Like,
okay.
But for like, you know, for me, I still deserve like the off-colored stand in the back. I did. I had a nice heart-to-heart with the DeWitts, and I said, really? Are you sure you know, this is... Because of my vision of what it was about, and they were all Hall of Famers. You know, I thought it was interesting.
Towering fly ball to center off Goldie's bat. De La Cruz going back to the warning track and wall, and he hauls that in. Two deep drives by the Birds today that have gone unrewarded. And that's the second out here.
Another good spring training at bat right there. Barrel it up. It's a homer in every ballpark in America, but you don't have to run the bases. Good swing right here. I mean, that is dead on for him. That's his swing. So good. How loud that was. That's a home run. Without the wind blowing the ball in from right field.
So a sigh of relief for Cabrera, who holds a 1-0 lead. Here's Nolan. He struck out his first time. Cabrera's been pumping strikes, man. 6 of them. 6 strikeouts, that is, into the 4th inning. On the ground towards short. Wendell's got that, and the side is retired. To the 5th we go. Miami leads the Cardinals. Cabrera's tough. 1-0. Baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Toyota. Deer Adventure, ready when you are. Toyota, let's go places. And by Car Shield. Car Shield, cars go farther. Cards Hall of Famer with his red jacket, Jim Evans. Chip Carey with you.
Red.
Still red.
They haven't bleached it yet.
And Chris Stratton back out for his 2nd inning. He gave up a hit in the 4th. And he'll start with Joey Wendell outside. 1 ball, no strikes. That's up and away. Again, if you're just joining us, talking with Ali Marmol before the game, the Cardinals have not yet told the players how the 26-man roster is going to shape up. He said he would probably do that between games. And the Cardinals have a night game against the Mets. They'll have some more meetings tomorrow, or excuse me, tonight and again tomorrow morning, and they will finalize, they believe, their 26-man roster before tomorrow's play. That's in for a strike on 3-0.
I think it's interesting that there's still some guys up in the air because you really don't have a lot of time to prepare. I mean, I guess everyone breaking camp kind of at the same time, but you know, it's like as a player I get it, but at the same time I'm like, hey, where am I going to live? Am I living in Memphis? Am I living in St. Louis? Am I, going to Double-A.
Again, you didn't have to worry about that, but you had teammates who did. How does that work? Take us behind the curtain.
It's just tough because, you know, you're trying to like kind of take a chance on getting an apartment, or you get, you know, they do take care of you. You stay in the hotel for X amount of days, and even when you come up and down, they have to take care of you. But it's this, you know, you want to kind of, I think being settled is as much a battle as actually playing the games. You know?
And for players with young children and families,
for
who
sure.
takes care of the dog? I mean, all that stuff.
Well, and it's like, you know, and you have kids and wives here in Florida, and like you're going to go up there, and it's almost better that you're just like, hey, just stay home let me get settled. And then in a lot of families, the kids are still in school, so they're staying home anyways with the wives and the kids, and that helps a little bit. But yeah, you just don't have any idea where you're going to live, and you live in a hotel. I mean, you've been down here for 6 weeks. Some of these guys 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, working out early, and just to come down to that last 24 hours where you're just like, I don't know where I'm going to live yet.
Yeah, and you guys are such creatures of habit. That's really the only way you survive, right?
Yeah, routine is big.
That's low to Arise. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, and there's going to be maybe a phantom DL here or there, and a guy might stay back, you know, here in Florida. That would be the worst part of it. Like, you're packed up and ready to go. Like, you're going to stay back and just get some work here for another week. Or I've even seen it where the 5th starter will stay behind and throw another game here in the minor leagues because we have always have that second day off.
Well,
right?
that's what Ali was talking about with Steven Matz. It'll be a while between his start here and his major league start. He'll either stay here or maybe pitch aside in St. Louis. But all of those things are factored in as Stratton strikes out the reigning AL batting champion. 3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 for Chris. He looked good. Mid-inning pitching change in a 1-0 Marlins game in the 5th.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much got his apartment or house ready to go.
Now, what he has done this spring is notable. Every outing has been 1 inning, but he is a man that's pitched more than 1 inning in relief for the Cardinals.
Well, when you have a guy like this, you're going to have to use him as much as you can when you need it.
There's a ground ball toward Nolan at third. Perfect throw. 1 pitch and 1 out.
So you're saying maybe he has a couple of 4-out saves under his belt.
Well, maybe he'll have 1 today or in regular season play. We shall see. 1-0. Enjoy if you join us for college nights at Busch Stadium Tuesday, April 4th or Monday, the 17th. Get all the details at cardinals.com/theme. The theme of this game is Edward Cabrera. He has struck out 6 Cardinals in 4 innings and has scattered but 2 hits.
Only 61 pitches, too. He's been doing it quickly. It doesn't look like it. He's throwing 95, 96. Just nice and smooth. It's like, you know, you see what you watch Alcantara pitch, and it's just like over the top, and you're just like, oh, that looks good, nice and easy. 101. You're like, wait, what? 101? Kind of has the same kind of delivery, don't you think? Like kind of nice and easy rock, and then it's like something that okay, everyone's going to pitch like Sandy from now on.
Well, Mel Stoudemire Jr. has 2 real good studs at the top of the rotation. Alcantara, the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the National League, and this guy Cabrera, who hopes to have a breakout year. Segura at third, takes a peek at Rob Manfred's signature, throws high, and Gurriel, a nice play to get to the bag in time for out number 1.
I like that. Never heard that one before. Making sure he spelled the name right.
Exactly. 1 out as Contreras is retired. Here's
wondered why you would look at the ball, I guess, but some guys do. You ever heard? I had a story. Scott Rowland, you know, wanted to get the ball out of his hands in a hurry. As good as the player he was, he always wanted to catch the ball and get rid of it. He just felt like the less time he had the ball.
Don't think, just throw.
And so, you know, the way the defenses were played, and Albert, you know, if you look at first base right now, Gurriel's way off the bag, and so Scott would get the ball a couple times, and Albert's still sprinting across. And he said, I can't tell you how many times I just threw the ball at an empty bag. Just didn't wait. He just threw it.
Better get there.
I was like, wait, what if he's not there in time? He's like, not my fault.
I did my job. You'll win with your winner tie
Well,
play.
let me just tell you what. Albert started having some foot issues, and I played first base a couple times, and that stuck in my head. Boy, I was hauling butt over to first base.
How gratifying is it that Scott's going to the Hall of Fame
love it
for you?
I love it just because he was probably my closest friend, him and Albert. But Scott and I, not only played together for a while, we sat next to each other on the plane and talked a lot. We did, just talked off the field stuff. Our families were close, come close with his parents, and it was just amazing. And I said, it was really interesting because knowing someone so well, and then I texted him, and I just made it short and sweet, like, congratulations. And he didn't respond right away, which I figured fine. And he said, Pops was crying. And that just made me start to tear up because I know his dad is a big man, tough old man. Family is amazing, and for him just to say that little brief, my pops was in tears, basically what he said. I just that's the best.
And the video of him walking in with his mom in the kitchen, I believe it was, and I think he said,
the best.
We made it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome stuff.
I mean, just class act. Family's awesome. Wife, mom and dad, kids. It's a great thing to be a part of for me to watch that from being so close, and then now watching him get that last achievement that he can get.
Nolan
Pretty
Gorman
cool.
with Jordan Walker at first, a 4-pitch walk for him, and sprayed out a play foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Never been to the Hall of Fame day. I've been there in the city and seen the Hall of Fame, which is the most unbelievable thing I've ever witnessed in my life. But I was thinking to myself, I got a few of them coming up that I might have to go to.
Right.
There's 3 guys that are shoo-ins, and now that Scott's there, you got Albert and Yachty, and
Sharply hit, and a diving catch at first by Gurriel. That took away a hit and maybe more than 1 base. Diving stop at first robs Nolan Gorman, and that sends us to the 6th inning. Cabrera having a great day, leading by a run. Tonight they're in Anaheim, and they will face the Anaheim Ducks with coverage starting at 9 o'clock on Bally Sports Midwest. As we thought, Ryan Helsley back out for a full inning. He threw 1 pitch, got an out, and faces Jorge Soler with a couple of strikeouts today. That's popped out a play foul. Strike 1. Jim made a good point. Get Helsley stretched out just a bit. All of his appearances this spring have been single inning affairs, and he had a run of 4 outings for the Cardinals where he struck out all 3 hitters he faced. That's pretty good.
should have seen some of his outings last year. It was lightning. 100 mile an hour, sharp slider. Thank you very much. Good night. Like, it's just when he's on like that, you don't think anyone's going to touch him, and that's just awesome to watch a guy, especially with the fastball that he has.
Like that. I've heard hitters say, Jim, when the ball comes in that high, even with that velocity, it looks enormous, and you just can't resist.
It's in your face, and a lot of guys, especially when you open up a little bit, you start your swing early, and then it's in your face, and it's too late. Like, right there, it's just, and you can see what we talked about with Soler earlier. You can see his shoulders and everything are flying, and you just take batting practice in a big park like this where the wind's blowing in. You try harder and harder and harder. It starts to spin you backwards and put you in slumps because you think you need to swing hard, and if you swing as hard as you want, still not going out with the wind blowing in.
Garrett Cooper had a good rip, fouled that back to the netting. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and line out.
This guy's got a nice swing. Stays on the ball. Just thinking middle the other way all the time, and if you give him a pitch to hit, he's going to yank it.
He was an all-star for the Marlins. Slumped in the second half, though, for Miami, looking for better things this year. And takes one at the knees. 97, he's getting loose. That, to me, is one of the most amazing things about our game is the number of guys that effortlessly throw 96, 97, 100.
It's every guy coming out of the bullpen for some teams.
It's just amazing.
And then they've added that.
That's not fair. Wow. Framed beautifully. Cooper thought it was low. That was some kind of pitch. Look at this thing drop off the table.
Wow. That's that tight breaking ball that he had we thought he added, and he just said, no, I'm healthy. I can get over my front leg and really snap it, where it was a little bit more loopy a couple years ago. That's just a dirty pitch. 98 at the shins.
Have fun.
And the only place you're hitting that is back up the box, right back to him, off the dirt.
Garcia's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And bounces up.
Oh.
Do we have a pitch clock violation?
Yeah,
I think
go
so.
ahead and put that little clock on your scorecard.
Yep.
Little watch, you know, like the little timepiece.
And a swing and a miss.
Just made it easier on Helsley.
He strikes out the side in the 6th. Time for the offense to go to work. It's 1-0 Miami. Our copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 9-1-2 for the Birds in the home 6th. Tommy Edman leads off. And struck out his first time up. Cabrera has struck out 7 in his 5 innings today. He averaged over a strikeout per inning pitched last year. Oh, just a little high.
Just a bit outside. You hit the bull. You got to let that go every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Let the hitter think. It's possible. Because if you're on the right-handed hitter and I'm standing on deck, I'm thinking, uh-oh. Did that slip, or is he overthrowing?
Yeah. Strike for Tommy on a 3-0 pitch. 3-1 now your count. Cabrera pushing toward 80 pitches in his final tune-up before the first Marlins series. And there's a good start. Tying runs aboard with a leadoff walk. Tommy Edman earns the second Cardinals base on balls. I think, too, something to watch, especially in the early days of regular season play, with the pitch clock, with the effort and the number of innings they pile up. When a guy gets to the 5th, 6th inning for the first time, the fatigue of the hurry, what effect that has on a starter's stuff.
Well, I thought that's like kind of what we talked about with Jack Flaherty the other day, is how is that going to come into play, and how about these visits right here? You know, you see a guy all of a sudden now he's got what? He's getting into the 80 pitch count area. 6 innings. Time is going by fast. He's not taking a breath. Saving graces. They're not hitting and running the bases anymore. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see who and where does it take a toll.
Slow roller hit towards second. One there. The return to first is way late. And Donovan trades places with Edman with 1 man out.
You can see Donovan the last couple of days has been getting out by the fastball and hurried himself up right there and got not a fastball. Last couple of days been a little uncharacteristically different for him. Guys been chasing him hard, fastball up, and he hasn't been able to battle like the last couple of days. But when we first got down here, wow, he's hitting everything. It's one of those guys that can't get out of here fast enough.
I think the same is said for
season going to start.
Well, I think the same is said for Cabrera. He was awesome today. See if the Cardinals have better luck with a new pitcher. Puck, who came over in a deal with the Oakland A's to Miami, has had a good spring in his new home. Maybe, Jim, for him, a change of scenery is what the doctor ordered.
I tell you what, it's nothing better. And you get a guy that needs a fresh start, come in and just have a new lease on life, and things start to work out. I mean, there's just what a career maker, you know, keep you going, give you a little pep in your step.
Pinch runner at first for the Cardinals.
I like the name too, easy signature. PUK.
Nick Dunn, the pinch runner for the Cardinals. Lars Nootbaar is your hitter. He's 1 for 2. Chandler Redmond's on deck. He's an interesting story. He'll follow Paul Goldschmidt, barring a double play here.
A.J. Puck has pitched in 5 games this year. He's only given up 3 hits and 1 run so far in spring training. I'll get some attention.
Lars Nootbaar almost got hit. Whew. 2 balls, no strikes.
That's one of those when you think, how did that miss? Ended up behind him. Comes the old slider. Well, I think he was thinking the same thing.
So Puck tries to get back in the count. 2 balls and a strike. 1-0 Miami. They scored their run in the 3rd. Cardinals using a bullpen game today. Edwin Cabrera was terrific for Miami. There's the slider. And now Lars in command. How does he do against lefties?
He does well. I really, since he's gotten on this team, even up and down, I'm really impressed with just, you know what you don't see, what you don't realize with him, he's a big, strong kid. He actually looks like he's lost a little bit of weight this year, but it's surprising how big he is. And a short swing with power, good arm, good defensive player, can run. And he just is one of those guys, I think, the more he plays, the better he's going to get. I really like him as a player.
Scott Hurst is going to run for Nootbaar, and the man in the batter's box, Jim, sounds like you described Chandler Redmond, who did something that's almost never been done before in the game last year.
Well, tell me about it. When you get a minute or a second.
This kid playing for Springfield against my son's beloved Amarillo Sod Poodles hit for the home run cycle. Solo, 2-run, 3-run, grand slam. And you can see what he's trying to do. And I think he drove in 11 runs in that game.
That I did see. How was that day?
I would say it's
5 for 6 with 11 RBIs.
really good. Runners are going to move up. Yeah. They'll advance the runners here with 2 outs. And now Nolan Arenado will step in with a chance to put the Birds in front with a hit.
Imagine going home at night. 5 for 6, 4 homers and 11 RBIs, and just like sitting around at night thinking, that's pretty cool right there. I just did something, and then you're waiting for your phone call to the big leagues.
And then your mom or dad calls and says, well, why didn't you get a 6th hit?
Yeah, what happened on the last at bat?
Right.
Do you get tired?
Yeah, well, I'll bet he did. So here's Arenado down a strike versus A.J. Puck in the St. Louis 6th.
I'll tell you, it would be interesting because he doesn't mess around the box much, but he does step out or stuff like this right here. You want to see someone fiery. I don't know if I'd want to call a proverbial watch clock, strike clock violation on him. You might have to hear about it for a while.
Little pop into shallow center. Might drop, will drop. 2 runs will score. Arenado got jammed on 2 strikes, and he puts the Cardinals in front. That's a nice way to end your day. A go-ahead hit.
He's one of those guys when he's hitting too. You can't just throw him to get me over, breaking ball with 2 strikes, or you have to throw him a put-away pitch. And right there, it was a pretty good pitch, but it wasn't down enough, and does that all day long.
So Nick Raposo's the hitter for the Cardinals, who've taken the lead 2-1.
He got a little bit of the catcher's helmet too on that, didn't he? Heard a little secondary tick. The insult to injury.
So the Cardinals, 2 runs, 3 hits. Couple of walks in this inning. One of them has scored. That turns into the second St. Louis run. And now Raposo pops one up. This one deeper toward De La Cruz in center, and he'll camp out and make the play. Nolan Arenado with a 2-strike, 2-out, 2-run scoring hit has put Ollie's squad in front. Well, time for our Budweiser player of the game. Jim, we talked about today being a bullpen game for the Cardinals, and it looks like Ryan Helsley is more than ready to go for Toronto on Thursday.
I mean, you really could have taken your pick. Most of these guys have come in throwing strikes. Helsley was just impressive with 3 strikeouts in an inning in the 3rd.
So that's his 5th outing, Jim, where he's had 3 strikeouts in an inning.
This spring.
This spring.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I think he's got a, like I said, his apartment's probably ready.
Yeah, he's just warming up just to make sure he makes the team, right? As Gene Segura faces Kyle Leahy. And in at the knees for a strike. I've been really impressed with this entire Cardinals staff all spring long. They've filled up the strike zone. They haven't walked many people. They've pitched aggressively. Ollie has raved about what Dusty Blake has done with many members of the staff, helping them recalibrate, reshape pitches to make them more effective. That's why Jake Woodford is on the staff, for example.
It's funny when I got down here, usually I'm here earlier in camp, and I'm looking around, I'm saying, well, who's the one that was giving up the runs? Because none of the guys I've seen pitching have contributed to any losses. But yeah, you're right. I think the staff has done an amazing job, the pitching staff. And that is only coming out of that coach's office, and they have done a great job so far. Hopefully it continues.
Yeah, we're told the Cardinals staff has issued the fewest walks of any major league team in spring training this year.
Really? Well,
that's impressive. So is that.
I was going to ask you what you thought about this as we were watching so far the Marlins guys, especially with Cabrera, where he looked like he was just, some of these guys I think that pitch clock can help. Take the thinking out, take the guesswork, have a good relationship with your catcher, put down the finger and throw your pitch.
Well, Tom Glavine and I talked about that a lot.
Don't mess around outside the zone. Throw your pitch.
Tommy Glavine talked about that with me a couple of years ago, and he said, I never understood why a guy needed 30 seconds to make his decision. He said, by the time the ball's out of your hand and you see the result,
you already know what you're
already
next.
knowing what you're going to throw next. Exactly.
I think sometimes the only thing that would change your mind is that the catcher puts down a few signs, and you're arguing with your catcher basically, but you would see like a guy like Greg Maddux, he would shake off, and you see a lot of those veteran pitchers would use like the plus and the minus signs with their gloves, so they don't have to go through so many signs. But yeah,
well, and now with the technology,
like you throw a pitch and you see the result, and the ball's coming back to you, kind of already have an idea what you're going to throw.
And with the technology, either the catcher calling the game or the pitcher's pitch comm, where they can just push a button and make the decision themselves and go ahead and throw. I don't think that's going to be a problem at all, especially for the younger pitchers who have come up through the minor leagues with these pitch timing restrictions.
Well, and even see a guy like veterans like Scherzer, who brought up earlier, guys like that, you see, they'll stand on the mound sometimes certain ways, and so the catcher, you got a veteran out there that's fiery like that, and you can start to see him get a little perturbed with this catcher when he has to start shaking off in a situation that seems pretty simple.
How will it affect an at-bat? For example, you're in the box and the pitcher is on the mound and he wants you to step out. He wants you to get out of the box. You can't do that now or risk a ball.
That's going to be an interesting part because you can.
That's off Leahy's back foot. He'll recover, and the flip to first is in time. 2 outs. Let's see if Kyle's okay.
Especially when you can, add the stretch for some of these relievers when they can look back over their shoulder and see the clock. For here it's in center field. I noticed a couple of times guys had peeked back. As you take a look at this right here, I think that got off his shoe. But yeah, you can use it to your advantage. But I just think get the ball and throw it. If you just concentrate on making pitches, right?
There's a lot of wisdom in Bull Durham, right? Don't think just throw.
Hurting the team.
Hurting the team. Joey Wendell, the hitter, tying run at second, 2 outs, 2-1 Cardinals lead.
That's that other one too, is like we were talking about earlier when he goes out to the mound and he says, I want you to hit the ball next pitch. It's like, what do you mean? I'm dealing. He's like, yeah, I want you to hit the ball. wake these guys up. Don't get too comfortable.
Right.
You got 5 more innings to go still. Shake it up a little bit.
How about that busy shot from our director Tom Mee? 7 uniformed personnel from our center field camera. Count them. Out of play. Nolan Arenado with a 2-strike 2-out hit has put the Cardinals in front, their first lead in the game.
Ooh, nasty.
And a swing and a miss. Good work for Leahy out of the Cardinals bullpen. He strikes out a pair. And Jim, we're at the 7th inning stretch for the final time this spring on Bally Sports Midwest.
/5K.
Hope you take time to vote for the 2023 Cardinals Hall of Fame presented by Edward Jones. Great candidates are on the list. Joaquin Andujar, Steve Carlton, David Freese, Matt Morris, Edgar Renteria. 3 great pitchers and 2 terrific infielders. Cast your vote at cardinals.com/HOF. Voting closes April 21st. I would have loved to have seen Steve Carlton pitch in this era with that nasty slider he had. As Tyler O'Neill pops this ball up into shallow right center. And he'll be retired for out number 1. Puck back out there for the Marlins. They'll try to get him through the 7th, it would look to appear. And here's Jordan Walker. He struck out and he's walked. Look inside the numbers for Walker this spring. Interestingly, Jim, it's been the lefties who've given him more problems than the righties at the plate.
Well, I think what we've been seeing the last couple of days is that right there. Really trying to come hard inside to him. Getting him to speed up and then trying to get him out away or soft. Got a mistake right there, but didn't do anything with it. But that's what it does. You know, it speeds you up and takes you out of your game. And even when you get a pitch to hit, if you open up a little bit, bat drags and then just get a ground ball right there to second base.
So Jordan Walker 0 for 2 in the game. Nolan Gorman is hitless. He was robbed of a knock last time out, but diving stopped by Yuli Gurriel at first for the Marlins. And in for a strike.
It's that crossfire lefty-lefty. You're just thinking, come on. Don't give him that pitch, please.
So how do you hit these guys?
You just got to stay on it. That's what I'm saying. And it's like, I hope he can't make that pitch 3 times in a row right there, or I'm in trouble.
Thank you.
But that's the way you have to think, too. You can't do that 3 times in a row. Most guys can't. If not, all of them can't make that
the
pitch.
middle. Nice play. Nice spin. Throw it first. Ball dropped. Gorman's aboard. That was a super play at second base just to get to that ball. But Nolan Gorman legs it out. He'll be aboard with 2 outs. And he'll be taken down. Kramer Robertson. No, is that Kramer? Nope. We'll check and see. Hang on a minute. And Jeremy Rivas will be the Cardinals hitter. What I'm looking forward to most about opening day?
Not going through all these pages to find out who's pinch running at first base. You're like, wait, I put that paper somewhere, didn't I?
And it's
about 8 innings ago.
It's gone with the wind. So we'll just call him old number 16. Tom Mee will tell us who it is. Mendlinger is going to hit. Yep, Noah Mendlinger is the guy at first. As Rivas, the youngest player in Cardinals camp, has had an impressive spring. And that's what's really been eye-opening too, Jim. Not just the veterans who you come to expect them getting their work in and getting ready, but the work ethic of these kids, the talent they have. I mean, the present's exciting, but the future may be even brighter for the Cardinals.
You expect to see Jordan Walker, but there's other guys that have opened up a lot of eyes.
So down on strikes is Rivas. That sends us to inning number 8. Fool's Day, Saturday, April 1st, when 25,000 fans 16 and older take home a mystery pitching bobblehead showcasing either Yadier Molina or Albert Pujols. That giveaway courtesy of Central Bank. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. John Birdie is the man that made that good play at second base. He'll lead off for the Marlins as we've reached the 8th inning. Kyle Leahy will go back to work protecting a 2-1 lead. Jim Edmonds, Chip Carey, our entire Bally Sports crew, our final spring telecast. We'll join you again for all the festivities of opening day on Thursday. Cardinals Live starts the coverage at 1:30. We'll have the Clydesdales, the Hall of Famers, and hopefully a Redbirds win over the Toronto Blue Jays. Miles Michaelis will get the opening day assignment for St. Louis. As that misses high. 3 balls and a strike. That's popped up. A race to the screen, but no play. Forecast for opening day in St. Louis, 62 degrees. With bright sunny skies to start the day, so hope you'll join us. The pitch from Leahy is rolled foul. Go to cardinals.com. Might be a few scattered opening day tickets left, starting at $44.
That's something you don't hear every day, every year. A few tickets left for opening day.
And by a few, we don't mean a lot. Just a, just a few. You better hurry. And the Cardinals have set their rotation for the first 5 games. Miles Michaelis will open. Jack Flaherty will pitch game 2 of the season. Jordan Montgomery 3rd. Jake Woodford, Steven Matz, and then Miles Michaelis against Atlanta. So ball 4 puts Birdie aboard for Miami. And here's Jesus Sanchez. Sanchez and De La Cruz fighting for playing time for the Marlins. Keep an eye on Birdie. Remember, he led the National League in stolen bases with 41 of them last year. I asked you before, I'll ask you again now that you've had time to do all your big league prep, get ready for opening day. Is 41 going to be beaten?
Well,
for the stolen base record this year.
That's with him not starting at the beginning of the year.
Correct.
That was just him kind of like, hey, don't forget about me, and then took off running. And they said he did that all the way. You know, I was talking to somebody, I think JP, the Marlins announcer, and he said he'd done that all the way through his minor league career, and that's just what he does. Burst on the scene, got a chance to play, and just took off running. So yeah, if he plays every day, he's going to steal more than 40.
Wow, big breaking ball. Sanchez wasn't expecting that, and 3 pitches takes care of him for out number 1. This is Garrett Hampson. Garrett Hampson, a former Colorado Rocky. Boy, the Cardinals have had the strikeout pitch working in this game. I've got him with 12 strikeouts with 1 out in the 8th inning. That's how you win a lot of games. And when you don't walk people, generally speaking.
That's true right there. The walks.
You've got a good shot. Delayed steal, throw to second, ball dropped. It trickles into shallow center. Birdie on his way to third, and he'll slide in safely. So the tying run for the Marlins is 90 feet away with 1 out.
That's what we were talking about earlier about catching the ball. You got to catch the ball first. It just gives you, you know, that extra 90 feet. Now you got a guy at third with now 1 out. Good throw here. Just kind of caught the infielders off guard. He's out if he catches this ball.
Cardinals come creeping in now. And the pitch is letter high.
Ooh.
Ball 2. Hampson's used to hitting in big ballparks. The difference is he's playing at sea level now. Leahy's got a strike throwing machine, man.
Good slider working today.
22 strikes among his 32 pitches. Cardinals winning the game despite being out hit 5-4. The Birds have committed the only 2 errors in the game. Now a spot for Leahy to get that all important second out. Instead it's popped into shallow right. Here comes the catch. Bertie is not going to advance. Perfect play. Can't draw it up any better than that.
I believe that is Pender out there in right field now. Chase Pender, number 12. Nice play, nice throw.
Take me through the fundamentals of this play.
Just don't mess it up. Actually, you can't do it any perfect than that. That is the perfect throw. Didn't overthrow it. Gave him a nice one hop. No need to throw the ball all the way there. No need to overthrow. He's not going to run, but you got to throw it. So, great job.
Nice job by Leahy, who came on in the 7th inning. A hit, a walk, 3 strikeouts. Cardinals will take him down with a tying run 90 feet away for the Fish. Black is on, and he'll try to send this game to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Cardinals in front. Josh Zamora will face him here with John Bertie 90 feet away for Miami. Black pitched at 2 levels in the Cardinals chain last year, Springfield and Memphis. Don't remember seeing him get in a big league game.
Not this year yet.
This year.
75 games in 2 years in the minor leagues so far already. That's some work.
We're told Grant was a member of the Gateway Grizzlies. So what a thrill for him. He comes in throwing strikes. Zamora didn't get that. And now the Cardinals are a strike away from erasing this Miami rally. Ooh, that was close. Good try.
2021 started in Double-A, went to Triple-A. 2022 started in Double-A, went to Triple-A.
Little pop into shallow right. Pinder cannot get there. Zamora got jammed. He brings home Bertie, and the Marlins have tied the game at 2. So the leadoff walk comes home to roost late innings, as it often does.
It does. You're right. Leadoff walk in an air. I guess you don't really give that an air, though, do you? Well, yeah, you got to advance
Gets
base.
to
I was
third,
thinking
yeah.
of something else, but like just in general, not catching the ball. But I think that basically will score anybody right there. That hit. Second base with 2 outs.
Jordan Groshans, your hitter. And a timeout requested by the Marlins right-hand hitter. So that play right there in a meaningless spring training game is kind of what the Marlins are hoping happens with their regular squad. This is not a powerful team.
Get the runs in.
Get a hit when you need a hit.
Yep. Those are big.
And Zamora did that.
You know, it's amazing, just like the little ball, you know,
Yeah.
getting guys over, getting guys in, even without hits, you know, fly balls with guy on third, getting a guy over, especially when you're not swinging the bat well as a player, to just take it upon himself to move a runner to third with nobody out.
Look, everybody likes home runs, right? But when the home runs aren't coming, how can you score if you're not hitting the ball out of the ballpark?
And that's, you know, over the course of a season, you're going to run into that for more than once over a week or two period, and got to figure out a way to win the games.
That shot towards second. Nice pick. Perfect throw. And that will retire the side. Miami cashes in a leadoff walk. They've tied the game. At the top of the order coming up for St. Louis. Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer. By Plaza Tire Service, the quick change experts, and by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Warm, muggy, windy day in Jupiter, Florida. Our spring training finale. Cardinals 2, Marlins 2, and Matt Barnes is on to face the top of the order in the home eighth.
Throwing in his 6th game this year. Spring training, that's about ready now, I think, with all that back field work and all the side work.
He'll face Nick Dunn, who scored a run as a pinch runner back in the 2-run St. Louis 6th. Nolan Arenado drove in both Redbirds runs. This was a bullpen game today for the Cardinals. Cabrera, Jojo Romero, Gallegos, Stratton, Helsley, Leahy, and Black.
Running out of ink over there yet?
Pretty much. Ground ball to third. Dunn on the run. He's out with a strike. And there's the first out. Again, the Cardinals are expected to notify who's made the players as to who's made the team after this game. They will have a night game tonight against the New York Mets, and the Redbirds are expected to announce the 26-man roster sometime tomorrow. It has been meeting after meeting after meeting, as you would expect, for Ali, the staff, Michael Gersh, Mozeliak and company. And that's a good thing. There are a lot of difficult decisions that are going to have to be made.
Be an interesting lineup tonight, too. On the road.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure that Goldie, Arenado, they're not going to go. Yeah.
You got no Donovan, no Newbar, no Goldie, no Arenado, no Contreras, no O'Neill.
And no broadcast.
No broadcast.
As Scott Hurst is your hitter. And pop fly out of play.
So good luck.
Well, you know what? We'll escort the team bus up to Port St. Lucie. And
you will. I'll be going the other way.
Yeah, you're going. That's right. I'll escort them up there.
You're going north. I'm going south.
Make sure they get there safely. Where Ron Darling.
Pretty sure you're not going to stay behind the bus for very long.
Hopefully not. As we know, Jim, speed limits are suggestions. Pop back out of play.
There you go.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Your 3-hour and 14-minute drive will be 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Well, from your lips to God's ears.
As soon as you go around the bus, you'll be fine.
If everyone would just get off my highway,
get out of the way.
I would be a lot happier person. As Hurst is ready, the pitch.
Good take. Starting to think alike already. See,
boy, I'm really worried about you.
This is getting ugly after 4 days.
Hey, what's your first series during the regular season?
It's the second series.
The Cardinals Braves.
Yeah,
good. That'll be fun.
Usually give me opening day off to enjoy the festivities.
Makes sense. And ball 4 to Hurst. Let's see if the Cardinals can cash in another walk. Again, Redmond, the hitter. He's the young man that hit for the home run cycle. My sons texted me during the game, Jim. They're watching out west. Not only did this kid hit 4 homers, he did it in 4 consecutive innings of the game. That's pretty impressive.
You know, I remember that, and I was watching something earlier this year about a college player, I believe, hit 3 grand slams in 1 inning.
Wow.
If I'm reading that, if I was remembering correctly, because they said it was a similar kind of thing, and they said they had mentioned Fernando Tatis, and then they showed him hitting another one, and I thought, you got to be kidding me. What's that for a day, a week?
3 grand slams
in 1 inning.
Well, wouldn't you think
that? Yeah, but we might want to change the pitcher by then.
Well, or you can give him the Bonds treatment, walk him with the bases loaded.
That's wise.
That's amazing. For Chandler Redmond, 1 ball, 1 strike. Chopper hit towards short. Tricky hop, bobbled, flip to second. What a play. That could have been disaster. But how about that unbelievable play by Iglesias? He's one of the other veterans they brought in. Jose Iglesias with a hand flip to birdie at second. Saves Miami an out.
Smiling now, but he went a second ago.
Nope, total panic play that time.
I was going to say we were really close to having a full-blown panic moment.
So Jimmy Crooks, the final hope in the Cardinal 8th. I always liked Iglesias as a player. Good defender. So he and Gurriel have decisions to make, I believe. I was told that today's the day that they can exercise or opt out of their assignments with Miami. We'll see how that plays out for the Fish in the final days. Ground ball, that's going to sneak through for a base hit for Crooks. Around second, heading for third is Redmond. He'll slide in without a throw. And the Cardinals have the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 2 outs.
It's a nice job of hitting, but really nice job of running. You have to take advantage, even though you don't need to be at third with 2 outs. Go ahead and push the envelope right there, and might get a bad throw. You never know.
Now there's a whole host of ways you can score the go-ahead run here with a runner at third base. Nick Raposo is the batter.
You gotta love that, though. It just puts pressure on the team, like you said. Now there's so many different ways.
That could have been one of them.
Yeah.
Ball 1. And now time called. Might have been a cross-up. Well, the Iglesias play saved him a run for the moment. And Miami will talk it over here in the 8th inning.
Got a little feedback going on out there.
Yep. Let's not use that for the pitch clock violation. Sound.
Oh,
feedback would be bad.
No, that's not good.
I mean, if I was in Miami, I'd have the vuvuzelas going, right?
What?
The horns that they have in the stands.
What did you call them?
That's what they're called. First, you know that.
What did you call them?
Vuvuzelas.
You got a couple more people than just me looking at you funny in here.
Hey, I'm used to it. Happens all the time. Well, let's see if Raposo gets a green light here. 3-0.
You got all our crew looking at you weird.
Well, get used to it. Runner goes from first. That is up and away. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Well, things have gotten interesting here with 2 out. 2 walks in the inning. And now Barnes has nowhere to go. Mel Stottlemyre will come out and talk things over. And Victor Scott II will be your hitter. It's always fun when you have a good team. You never ever feel like you're out of a game.
Yeah.
A game like this, or a game that means something in regular season, and it can start with something as simple as a walk.
Yep, walk, run the bases hard. You never know. I was saying, like, you know, the little stuff will add up when you're struggling. It's just that little thing right there. Running the bases hard, taking a walk, let the next guy try to do something. Don't try to do it all yourself. Get you a little bit of a rally without even trying.
And a cool moment for Mr. Scott. 7th at bat in a big league spring game. He's knocked in a run. Let's see if he can make it 2. Or maybe more than that. Barnes pitch.
Good take, another one. That's good. That's a tough pitch right there to lay off. hook.
Belly the cap high, 2-0.
Big curveball.
Well, you figure he's got to throw a fastball at some point. Will he throw it 2-0 here?
I think you would have to be guessing right here if you're the hitter. I would take my chances.
He missed with 3 in a row. Now he's got to throw a strike.
You swinging here?
He better not be. He will be now if it's close. 3-1. Three balls and a strike. Bases are loaded. Wow. Generous call there. 3-2.
Where's our little box, that little valley box?
What? Well, the merry-go-round will start.
Just don't swing. Just keep it going.
Runners lead. There they go. The pitch is fouled back.
Good swing right there. It's a tough pitch.
Well, the strike 2 pitch made him swing at that.
Yep. That ball's off the plate, isn't it? At that one right there.
Yeah, too close to take, though. And we'll try again with another full count. Cardinals have loaded the bases with only 1 hit. And here we go again. Ball 4, a bases loaded walk.
I think Matt Barnes right there hurt himself. I think he sat there long enough to maybe see what he could do with the hitter stepping out of the box, and he got himself a little flat-footed. That was not what you want to do with bases loaded. 2 outs.
So Barnes in the 8th inning walks 3 hitters. He gives up a single, and he gives up the Cardinals' 3rd run. It's a 3-2 St. Louis advantage. The bases are still loaded, and Skip Schumacher is on his way out, and Barnes done after 24 pitches in the 8th. Out of Ringgold, Georgia, that's north of Atlanta in the Georgia mountains. He comes in a hot mess here. The Marlins have given up the lead. It's a 3-2 score. He's got the bases loaded, and Chase Pinder coming up.
Texas Rangers 23rd round draft pick in 2016. What number of pick do you think that is? Off the top of your head.
What round?
23rd.
600 something.
699.
Yowzers.
Just waiting for that phone call for a while, huh?
Good for him, though.
Pitching in the big leagues. Some big league time.
Chopper hit toward 3rd, foul. You know, you make a good point, and we kind of joke about the number of players chosen ahead of him. Think of how many times an area scout saw this guy pitch and wrote a recommendation and said, let's take him and see what he is. The old draft and follow guy.
Yeah.
And here he is.
I'd be like, hey, no need to follow. I'm coming. Let's go.
Right?
I want to play.
Good for him.
Oh, no big league time. My bad. I read it wrong.
Was with the Rangers organization, right?
Yes. No big league time. The minor leagues 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and oh, no 20 obviously, but 21 and 22.
That's popped up right side. Warning track and room, and that will retire Pinder and the Cardinals, but they cash in 3 walks. They take a 3-2 lead, and we head to the 9th. 5 days we're playing for real. Opening day at Busch Stadium starts with our Cardinals live coverage at 1:30. Opening day festivities at 2:30, and then first pitch from Miles Michaelis to a very exciting Toronto Blue Jays ball club. We hope you'll join us from St. Louis as the Cardinals kick off the 2023 season here on Bally Sports Midwest. This young man on the mound is Bryson Motts. Many times at this point in spring and in these kinds of games, you get players who are not thought of as prospects playing. That's not the case with this young man, Jim. He was the Cardinals' 2nd round draft pick last year. out of the University of San Diego. That's
Not
Chris
really
Bryant's
known
alma
for
mater.
their, not really known for their pitching.
No, pretty good hitters have come out of there, though. As Jose Iglesias bats. USD is a great school. The Toreros know all about it. My daughter went there. As Iglesias didn't get that. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I thought for sure, and maybe I'm crazy, but after the 4 big name shortstops were off the board, I thought that more teams would have an interest in picking this guy up, Iglesias,
Really?
at the plate. Catches everything.
You got to see him a lot more than we did.
Yeah.
But I can see what you're talking about.
But maybe he'll stick with Miami. Remember, they've moved Miguel Rojas. He's in Los Angeles now. Iglesias might be a nice stopgap, as that one is fouled at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. "11 years in the major leagues for Jose Iglesias. Last year with Colorado. And a swing and a miss. Bryson Motts strikes out, an 11-year pro. Nice way to start his inning. 1 man down. You know, that makes mom and dad proud watching in San Diego today.
Born and raised in San Diego, too. Love that one. Interesting to see a young man pitching in a big league game right here. It was a draft pick last year. 0 professional experience. Not a minor league game yet.
The game is changing before our very eyes, right? If you can play, no matter your age, you get a shot. And we'll see how long it takes Mr. Motts to begin his pro career and get to the show. He gets a strike to Noah Williamson. Quickly 0-2. Motts was the 59th overall pick out of USD last year. And he started his day perfectly. 2 swings and misses.
Change up right here. Yep, good change up right there. Like a circle change. Pretty good pitch.
Santiago Chavez is the Marlins hitter, and it's strike after strike. Chavez follows Nick Fortes behind the plate. Man, what a nice, simple, repeatable delivery from this kid. I mean, it is side saddle, get your sign, and go.
Like you said, right? Last day in spring training, still get some notice. Bring a guy in like this, hasn't pitched anywhere but the backfields, and all of a sudden, voila.
And he just struck out the side. Cardinals win the game 3-2. Wow. Bryson Motts, what a way to finish. And so St. Louis with another 1-run victory. Now Ali Marmol and the staff have some decisions to make. Jim, an exciting day here at Cardinals camp.
Yeah, I don't want to be him today, but what a game, what a job by the bullpen. 9 pitchers today, right?
Who struck out 15 Marlins
8
hitters.
pitchers today. 8 pitchers today out of the bullpen. You're right. Lots of strikeouts. Did a nice job, and you know, you play 9 innings. You never know.
Great way to finish our broadcast schedule here on Valley Midwest. 3-2 your final. Jim and I will have a final word from South Florida after our final break.